You're listening to the Beholder interview special on FlirtFM 101.3.
FlirtFM music.
Yeah, we were talking there a little bit about labels and genres. How do you feel about them in general? You know, genres and subgenres, death, thrash, core. How do you feel about that? Like, would you put Beholder in a genre? You're just metal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some people have called us traditional metal. Some people have called us progressive thrash. Some have called us thrash. But you know, whatever. But yeah, I think the thing is, I suppose I come from an age where, you know, sort of 15 odd years ago, heavy metal was heavy metal. There was probably glam and thrash, and that was your lot. You were either left of centre or right of centre, you know. But I think it's got stupid now. I mean, you know, there's Nintendo core, cross Nintendo core. Really? I think it's a lot of the music press like to pigeonhole it because it makes it a little easier for them, maybe. But at the end of the day, if a song affects you, it affects you. I don't care if you're listening to Roger Waters and it makes you cry, or you're listening to Creator and you want to slam your head against the wall. It's still music. You know, if it's good music and it rocks your boat, great. Regards record labels, I suppose the thing is with a lot of the independent record labels now, I do have issues with their focus, because a lot of bands now sign, but it's not a record deal anymore. It hasn't been for many a year, because the bands have to replicate the music themselves. They have to pay for production. They have to pay for everything, pretty much, and the duplication of the copies. You then give the copyright of your music to the record label that own it and pretty much own everything on the back of it. A record label now, and a record deal, should I say, isn't a record deal anymore. It's a promotion deal. And there's nobody on the planet that promotes a band better than the band itself. And with the day and age of, you know, the YouTubes and the Facebooks, and, you know, if you can get distribution and get it out there, great. But I'd suggest to a lot of younger bands, just try and do it yourself. That's what we do. We do it ourselves, you know. Reap the benefits and pay the cost if you get it wrong. But, you know, just promote yourself. Don't get me wrong, you know, if Nuclear Blast came to us or someone like that, we would seriously consider it, because, you know, obviously their arm of reach is a lot further than ours, you know, and it could take us to places. But on this level, we're just happy with doing it ourselves, because it's you know, you've got all the big cartels, you can put it out there, or, you know, it's so far-reaching now with social media that, you know, you haven't got to worry about it. The days of flyers and posters are gone now. It's all online.
Do you think the social media helps or
Both.
hinders?
Because it helps if you use it properly. You know, we'd like to think that we use it properly, but bands also rely on it. You know, because they put an event up on a page and, you know, it says that 50 people are coming. Well, there are only 50 friends who say they're coming. You know, you're not really pushing the event. You're just setting up a media page. But you know, I do think bands can get complacent. You know, being a promoter as well, you know, I kind of do see bands sort of turn up and say, well, where's my crowd? Well, really, mate, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're the one that's supposed to be doing it, and you can't call it promotion by just putting an events page up on Facebook. You know, that's bollocks, really. And bands have got a little bit lazy. You know, especially, you know, some of the younger bands, they think that that's the be-all and end-all. It's not. It's about getting out there and, you know, promoting yourself. You know, brings it back. Hey, guys, this is Simon from Beholder, and you're listening to Trev on Cranium Titanium here on FlirtFM.
Get your copy of Beholder's brand new album, The Order of Chaos, available now on iTunes. You're listening to the Beholder interview special on FlirtFM 101.3.
FlirtFM music.
Through the use of downloading all that, music is just so accessible now, which again I think both helps and hinders. You can just download albums now.
Yeah,
you know, go online, get a torrent, download it. I remember a day when I used to have my hard-earned cash and I buy an album
Saturday mornings.
I would just listen to it until I liked it.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
The fact of the matter is that, the decline of the record stores is a sad, sad thing, because I'm exactly like you, man. Saturday morning, I got my pocket money, and, this is in the days when record stores, you could go to them with a vinyl and say, can you just put a couple of tracks on so I can have a listen? And, and you used to flick through a gatefold, and it was something special, man. I remember taking back Live at Last and some of the Sabbathy and Born Again and stuff like that, and just looking through and just looking at fantastic artwork, reading all the sleeve notes, everything. I just wanted to know everything about everything. But now, in the days of the internet, it's a bunch of MP3 files. Yeah. That's it. And especially if you illegally download it, and if you do, you're a dickhead anyway, because you're killing the industry, So, yeah, I mean, I guess progress has come at a cost. That's the thing, isn't it? And if it's hopefully it's going to turn around on itself eventually, and hopefully more of the independent record stores will start to materialise again. I'd like to think so. That's the rumour that's hitting the industry at the minute. We hope so.
Speaking of classic artwork, the Awakening definitely tapped into that.
Yeah, that was done by Paul Gregory, the head of Bloodstock. Great guy and a great friend, and obviously someone that I work for. And he did Angry Machines, the Dio album, and he's done Saxon, Blind Guardian, all those lot. And when he offered to do that for us, we were just absolutely, besides ourselves, I think the fact is, we were considering Paul for this album, but the fact is that the content of it, the whole dark element that we've gone over before was a bit more in kin with something a bit more less fantastical, if you like. So it's just the eye with the riot squad in the middle of the eye and all this, Yeah.
You're listening to the Cranium Titanium Show with Trevor McCormick on FlirtFM 101.3.
The recording process, was it any easier in this album compared to The Awakening?
With regards to the recording on the last album, it was done by a guy called Andy Faulkner in Sable Row, so for us it was simple. We're just plug and play, and he'll tell us what he needs and all this lot. But this time it was a lot harder, it was a lot fraughter, in the respect that we were so much more clinical. We know what we wanted to achieve, and by learning how to do that, we've come out the other end better. The album's come out the other end better. But we can go to the next album now saying, okay, we know how to do this shit now. Let's take it to the next level, So it's going to be like a Queensryche opus next time, you know what I mean? It's going to be some monumental 12-part choirs and string sections, and no, it won't, trust me.
One song that goes on for 11 hours. Yeah, getting back to the gig tonight in Dublin, is it the first for Beholder here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, can't you see? I can't wait. Yeah, I've just met the crew here and the guy that runs the place, and this is going to be nuts. This is one we've looked forward to for many years, because, as I say, it's the first time we've come over, simply on the back of the fact is we got made a couple of offers, and we were like, yeah, we'd love to come over, but it wasn't working for anybody, and we had to be safe in the knowledge that when we come over, we're going to be in a position to give the best show that we can possibly do.
What's it like touring with Scar Symmetry and Bloodshot Dawn? How did the tour come to be?
We were offered the slot by the guys at TKO, the Kirkby organisation. What's it like? It's great. We know Bloodshot Dawn anyway. I've dealt with them loads of times, and they're great guys. Really a band that's well on the up. They've played Japan now, they've played India. They're for a young band, they've got a lot of scope to make it really big, definitely. Regards to guys from Scar, I couldn't meet a nicer bunch of guys. They're fantastic, and consummate musicians. And it's great. I mean, Per Nielsen himself, not only is he a nice bloke, but his guitar work is just absolutely amazing. He is really good to watch. It's been great. It's been a really nice run, nice and laid back, actually. Sometimes some of these runs are a little fraught. People are treading on eggshells a little bit. Not on this one. Everyone seems to get on, which is great. And the local openers have always all been good as well. So that's cool. That's always a bonus. You know what I mean?
And what do you think of the current UK metal scene? There's some great new bands out there, Fallen Fate and Resin Wolf, to name a couple. It's great to see these bands getting exposure. Is it hard to get exposure as a new band?
Is it hard to get exposure? It's not hard to get exposure, but it's hard to keep up continuity. I think. How is the UK metal scene? From my knowledge, and I have got a pretty wide knowledge because of what I do at Bloodstock, it's vibrant. More people need to know about it. It's great on a local level, and it needs to be pushed on a national level. That's why what we do at Bloodstock is really important. Sort of giving bands a leg up and giving them exposure is very, very, very important to Bloodstock, and that's always going to be the case. The UK metal scene's in a really... I think actually sort of doing it on the Metal to the Masses that I do, I think it's actually in a healthier place now than it was 2-3 years ago. The reason being, there was a lot of bands that sort of jumped on the whole metalcore thing, breakdowns, and it got very generic. There was a lot of bands doing the same sort of deal all the time, but now I see although there's a lot of bands that maintain that, there's a lot of bands now that are pushing out towards the more progressive styles, the more melodic styles, the more thrash styles, and then knitting together a richer sound, if you like, and not so patterned out generic sort of do you know what I mean? It's in a great state. More people need to know about it. More media needs to pick up on it, and not pander possibly to the American bands who, don't need the fucking exposure. I don't care for the My Chemical Romances of this world, I would rather the Resin Wolves and the Fallen Fates get a bit more press than them,
Bloodstock is, rightly so, one of the dominant festivals to go to this summer. It's really come into its own.
It's good, isn't it?
Bloodstock is a proper balls-out metal festival. It's great to see it.
Yeah, we have a tagline, by the fans, for the fans. What people don't realise is it's run by the family, the Gregory family, and I work for them pretty much full-time now, aside from Beholder. And yeah, Bloodstock is something really special to us. It is by the fans, for the fans. We're just metalheads that do it for the right reasons. The festival could have gone commercial a few times and, gone down the corporate road and been absolutely huge by now. But the fact of the matter is, do we want it? No. At the end of the day, we're happy at the size it is, but we're still we're still gaining interest from the bands like Slayer and, Lamb of God and King Diamond this year, Accept, Avantasia, which is going to be an amazing show, that will. So yeah, it's an honest festival run properly, and we're really passionate about the success of the festival, and the fans have picked up on that as well. So we're really chuffed. I'm looking forward to this year. I know that much, definitely. Lamb of God, man, they're going to own it.
Yeah,
they're going to own it.
That's great to see. That's all cleared up.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, there were actually tears in the office when that actually came through. People punching the air because we were really nervous. We couldn't be seen to be free randy, because as a festival you couldn't really be seen to do that because they're going through the courts process, so we had to keep quite quiet about it. But
and you were mentioning there that you're actually thinking of new material again already.
Yeah, we started talking about it because there's still a few tracks that sort of didn't make the cut this time that we're playing around with. And, I think we're looking at recording at the end of the year, maybe early next year, to bring something out in May, June of next year, hopefully. We'll see how that rolls. We're not going to put pressure on ourselves because we've obviously got new products out at the moment, so there's no major rush. But I think the fans deserve another album pretty soon, because, it is about the fans. We let them down in a respect that The Awakening was 2009, this is 2013. That's a long break. So, the sooner the better, in our opinion, definitely.
Cool. Well, Simon, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely, mate. Thank you so much.
And I really look forward to tonight.
Oh,
Can't
mate,
wait.
Off the hook. Let's all get proper drunk and have the crack.
Simon, thank you.
Thanks, Trev.